Hello and welcome to a little tutorial here on my channel. My name is Sissel, and for a while I have get a question. The question was how we can create a battle transition with universal render pipeline. So for a while I have looking for the battle transition like Pokemon. And I found a really good tutorial on YouTube that was for making stuff look good. The link is in the description. And I use from him this texture pack here in this tutorial on my channel. And for the universal render pipeline, I have looking for content. And so I found obvious dev. Link is the same in the description. Check out these two channels to find out how you can create an universal render pipeline, create the shader. Yeah, so at first we can looking for the shader. We make create a shader, and for me I use you see Unity 2020.3, and the next is I use not a 2D project. This is a 3D project, and I have bring let me see here in our package manager, and let me see here in the Unity registry. Make a refresh. I have bring in the tile map and 2D you see here. That is the tile map extras what I have bring in, and 2D sprite and tile map editor. I have bring it in a 3D project. For that project, what I work at the moment is you can run around with a 2D character and have a 3D fighting system. That is why I use not only 2D. So let us see what will the shader do for us. So here I'm on my world map. That is a little world map. This is testing. And when I go in here with the character and go here, you see here this, and I come in the next scene. So I have create here a little FSM with an array that is the final what we are doing on the end. But for now we will looking for the shader. So we create shader. So you're going on create. Then we're looking for the shader here. And we're looking for universal render pipeline, and we have here sprite untitled shader graph. And this is, I call it tutorial. And I open this and I open this so we can see what we are must doing. So that is the first what we have here. So, and the first is what we need. We're going here and we're looking for a textured 2D, and we call it main text. So, and then we're going here and we see here the reference. We will change this in main text with it. Okay, that is the first what we need. So the next is we need a transition texture. So the texture what come on, what you see, what fill our screen. So we're going back here and say next to the texture here, and we say transition for trans text. And on this, I make this, and this is important here, this for later, we will see it later. So, and as the next, we need a flute. This here, and we call it cut off. This is what we will be using at the first is 0. So, and when it's 0 and we're going in a trigger or something, he will go in a time to 1 per second to 1. So that's it. So we're starting here with the main texture, bring it here into it. And as next, we need the sample texture. Going here, looking for sample texture 2D. So we make this. At the moment at white, I have not bring here the main texture to it. We can looking here for, or we make it later. It's not important. So, and then you see here, we going from here, combine. So I bring this stuff a little more back to it. So, and you see here R1, G and B1, that is what we will are bringing here, R1 to here, G1 and B1. So, and this here, we will delete this. Oh, not all, only this transition. Yeah. So, and I make it a little more here. And so we have here the fragment, you see, and this is from here. We going to the sprite mask later. Yeah, here the sprite mask will come later. So as next, we putting our trans texture here, and the same. We need a sample 2D texture for it. And then we need here, you see compression from R1 compression. So that's it. And for the B1, we need the cutoff. We bring it here. So, all right. Okay, and as the last, we need a branch from here. So that's it. And I put it here on the alpha. And let me see here we have here single, this and sprite mask. Okay. And we make here a sprite lit. And then we're going here to it. And then I make sprite unlit. And you see you have this. So this is a shader. I put a shader in a folder with the texture. When you will see how the shader work or what all that is, you can going to Ovivius Dev channel. Link to the video is in the description. That is the content from him to how create this shader. So that is for me, that's okay. So I close this tab. I discard this. I have this creating before, and we close this tab. So as the next is from the making stuff look good. We have here all the textures, and you see here samples of textures was what we have. And to bring it in your game, you're going to your main camera. After that, you create a sprite render here. We make here 2D object sprite, and then look here for a square. And important is here to make the sorting layer to your player figure. Yeah. And then make it here for 5. Yeah, that is the next. And bring here, create a material here. And then you see here, you're going to shader graphs, and then here to the shader, what you have creating, or when you're downloading this package, use this shader, bring here as main texture. I have here the black, and this is a transition texture, what you need. So, and you see here at the moment, it's nothing. The array we're looking later. So and we have here the material that is here, and when I started to see what's happening here, okay, we have here this white cup. You must create it a little bigger. You see here. So I disable this for the moment. And you see here that these are my settings at the moment. And when I go in here to the cutoff and I make it, you see here, that is what the shader will do for us. We have here the transition texture, we have here the black texture as main texture, and you see that, yeah. So, and how we can bring it a Playmaker, when you have for a battle, that's really, really easy. At the first, you here, we delete this. And here on the battle transition, you can add array, Playmaker array list proxy. And this you become from the ecosystem. And you're looking here in the ecosystem browser, going into it and looking for array. So, and then take array maker. You see I have installed it before. That is what you must download from the ecosystem and install it. So, and then when you make add Playmaker array list proxy, so I have called this as test. You can take a name, whatever you want as reference. And we have here, make it test 1. And we have here game object or textures. And I have here 7 textures, and I make save it. And then I have put this texture from the texture folder. I have it here all and bring in, you see it here. So, and when we are looking here, I have created the first start event as a finish. And then we have here start fast, array list get random. So he put a texture from this on the reference test here, a type of texture, and the random item what he get from this will save as texture. So, and the next is the material here, and that is why I have saying it's important when we're looking here to our shader. So we have here the transition texture and here the reference that is important. So when we're going back here, the name texture is this, the same like here. Yes, that is why it's important to call this. Okay, and yeah, he put from the array the texture, and you see here set material texture. He set a random from this items, a random texture to here. And that's all. That is what he bring. And for using it, let me see my world data, the entry zone, the cave here. I have created a little trigger. And when the trigger 2D event, when the player goes in that trigger, here the player then going to test here, and here looking for find a game object, the battle trans. This is here the sprite render what I have putting on, and he said he cut off flute add cut off with 0.525 every frame per second. Then I have created a flute clamp from this cutoff from minus value is 0 to 1, and that every frame. And then he said material flute is the battle trends and have name flute cutoff. And then he make load the cave and load the next level for me. That is so, and here I can bring this material in. So, and when we are looking, so you see we have this at the moment, and let's restart. So, and you see I have here other texture. I get every time other random texture. So that is what you are using when you're going in. You see we have now this. And when I going in my cave, I have used this. I have not used this Playmaker array list proxy. I will use this when I going in a fight. The random textures. Yeah. So that's it. A link to the two YouTube channels, how I found the content is in the description. I make the texture so all textures here as a folder and bring the shader into it, and you can download it. And yeah, that's all. That is really, really simple. I hope you have understand all. That is the answer of the question how I can create battle transition or using battle transition in a 2D game with the universal render pipeline. Yeah, that's it. So I'm out. My name is Cecil. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.